Hey guys, how's it going? It's June 14th at 2:52 p.m. So, I decided to do I don't have PowerPoint, so this is kind of a presentation on what we're doing as far what I'm doing, I guess, and as a group what we're doing to prepare for version 2 during the summer of 2016. So right now we're running, as you probably know, in California, a 40-day cycle. That doesn't give us too much time. We got an entire summer at least, so at least over 3 months, probably longer. I would imagine it's probably going to be a little bit longer than that, but given 40-day cycles, we're looking. We might have 3 more cycles if we're lucky. So getting the timing and all the other planning ahead of time is probably going to be very key. And it's basically it's coming to a point now where this is why I'm giving up California, or why I'm trying to give up California. And it's either going to be ready or it's not. It's just one of those things. I'm not going to abandon California, at least not at this point. So we'll wait and see what happens. Got some things in the works as far as I know, which will be a huge lift off of my shoulders, because then hopefully I'll be able to promote RTS the way it should be. And I'll get to that at the end of this presentation. But I want to go through what is typical manpower that's going to be required if we run at full capacity. And this is what I'm using some assumptions based on what I think AI is going to be capable of doing. So um, we this is a typical shift in California. So a total of 7 to 8 members working the entire shift, with 5 more part-time members. You're looking at 3 to 4 dispatchers. You're looking at a Barstow hump crew. You're looking at a Barstow trim crew, and you're looking at a San Bernardino crew. Now that San Bernardino crew is going to be responsible not only for San Bernardino Yard, which is what I'm working on right now. Why I'm working on this is because it is going to combine the GM switcher and the Cargill switcher with the requirements of San Bernardino. It's going to be operated all by one switcher, hopefully. But again, this is why I got to test this out. And this is why timing's going into San Bernardino, because timing is essential. And I'm going to post some more suggestions and ideas about that. Victorville crew is not a long one right now. It is not at its full capacity either. There's a few things missing from the Victorville that I'd like to add in, but it's totally taken the back burner because of what's coming up at this point. I don't want to be adding any more work at this point right now. We got enough work that needs to be done. The boron crew starts at 0500 on a Monday to Friday. Here I only got it set up to 8 o'clock, which generally it'll come in after a few hours. SJVR crew is a full-time crew that runs 24/7. BNSF Bakersfield starts at 0430, running through at on this. I'm just dividing it into 3 shifts, 0800, so it keeps on going for an 8-hour shift, but it starts at 0430, I guess. And West Colton hump trim as required. And the MRVEP works Bakersfield at around midnight and around Mojave at 0400. Now, I'm just trying to think. What I didn't do is I didn't put hostlers in that. I put it on later on. So the other thing is, when you're looking at dispatchers, 3 to 4 dispatchers, yeah, you could probably do less than that, but good luck. I'm a pretty good dispatcher, and I've tried doing the entire thing myself, and it is to do a full capacity, and to be able to do it is a challenge, especially with multiple screens. Um, a good 3 dispatchers can handle it. I can find you might be able to get away with 2. I doubt it. but two, you're not going to be as efficient. You're not going to be able to take breaks. It's not going to be a fun time. Put it that way. Not for 8 hours or however long you can dispatch, which basically goes into what the sessions are capable of. So, like I said, 7 to 8 full members at this time, with about 5 more part-time members. Some of those part-time members can move around a little bit, but however, Victorville and Boron run at the same time. BNSF Bakersfield's actually a full-time crew. It just starts at 0430. West Colton, Hump, and Trim, along with Hostlers, can probably do the same thing. So the Hostlers can come into Barstow as well and help out, because the Hump and the Trim pretty much as busy as is. And keep in mind, these AI trains that are coming in, including manifest trains, if it's not human controlled, I can't see the AI taking the engines off and bringing it over to service or anything like that. That's something that humans are going to have to do. Therefore, would need a hostler. Now, normally, that is the job of the hostler. It's not the job of the mainline crew to do it. However, we've been welcoming the extra work. If people want to put that's not a big deal. Same with West Colton. So that's that one. Now the screens are going to get a little goofy here. Let's see here. Okay. So between 0800 and 1600, now we go for a total of 8 to 9 members working entire shift, with 6 to 8 more part-time members. So the dispatchers stay the same. Barstow, the two crew. San Bernardino has their crew. Victorville, I put Cemex planned as a part-time, just to give it a little bit more, because at some point somebody's going to have to fill up Victorville. Third crew for Barstow, 0800 to noon, and then that leads into the Cadiz local. So that's the Boron local basically turns into a third crew. We've been using it as a third crew because it only runs for a few hours. So that kind of goes into local yard and helps out while the Barstow Hump and Trim are running. Of course, SJVR is still running, and the BNSF Bakersfield crew runs till 1300 before it terminates. So that's an 8-hour shift. West Colton's the same. Back Bakersfield, Fresno, Bakersfield, very short runs unless AI can handle it, which I don't know if it can handle coming in and out of a manual yard. Like Bakersfield, I'm pretty certain it can do Barstow, and as far as I know, it can go up to a switch and just stop. So, but at the same time, somebody's going to have to throw those switches, because I don't think it's going to path itself. So maybe that'll be something where it is at around the time when BNSF Bakersfield's in the area, so perhaps he can help guide the train. And then the dispatcher can talk to Bakersfield as basically as a yard master. Back bar 3 works Mojave around 1600. US Borax Trick 1 and 2 work around 900 and 1500. And WCBK works around 1200. Works Mojave around 1200. And the Fort Hood Barstow unit train works at Barstow around 1030. So I'm just going to pass through here, keep on going. Yeah, that one looks a little goofy, but yeah. So this is the last trick, 1600 to 2359. As you can see, I just edited the paint. Total 9 to 10 members now working the entire shift. So this is the busy part, with 6 to 8 more part-time members. So we still have our dispatchers, Hump, the Trim, San Bernardino. I put in UP Bakersfield. It was actually a 12 to 2000, so it kind of straddles the other two. But Cadiz is also in there for the rest of Cadiz up to 2000. That's a full shift as well, but it's backed up. The SJVR crew, as I mentioned before, I forgot the Hostlers as required. West Colton Hump Trim is required. Vabar works Bakersfield at 2100. BKWC works Mojave right around midnight. And then we got US Borax Trick 3 around 2100. Then we got the grain train, COK SBD works Barstow around 2100. WCRV works Bakersfield at 1830. So So now, basically, in summary of all this, does AI need to be started and stopped at the host computer? That's going to be essential whether or not how we're going to be able to do anarchy. If it's something like I can set up in the morning, for example, if I'm still doing California, or if I'm off doing, eventually I might be doing. I think the idea right now is hopefully California gets off my hands, so I can develop, and then I will develop for the for Selkirk and Mohawk sub. So my typical day would basically go as it is right now. I wake up at 7:15 in the morning. If I can, I at that point could start up the AI, depending if there's dispatchers available. That's another thing that we have to get into. We do know at least one or two people, maybe three people that are interested in dispatching, but some more than others. So that's going to pertain to whether or not we can go full capacity. Um, this will, but whether or not the AI can run or not on its own, or whether it can be initialized over the network, will determine ultimately, regardless of manpower, what sessions can be hosted. If it can only be done from the host computer, then Anarchy might be able to fill in some of the manpower needed. So all that manpower I was talking about, we might be able to do it. Keep in mind too, a lot of those manpower that we're looking for, when you think about all the intermodal trains, but then keep in mind California is another ball of wax, because this, I'm not even talking about the LA stuff. So that's more stuff to come. RTS current capabilities can only generate one cycle at a time. It's something I'm hoping to improve, but it is on the back burner. The other thing that's on the back burner is actually getting these new engines to work. So there's a lot of stuff out there that I still have to play around with. So hopefully I'll be able to figure out something there. Manpower requirements does not include yardmasters using the tagging system in place. That's the other thing. So we're going to be you're going to need yard masters and people to come in and tag things, unless something gets changed with version 2. Not sure. The train registry is likely not going to be in place as we know it, because AI trains will not report locations to it. However, considering potential manpower issues, running AI may only be able to run certain times while local crews catch up. So that's pretty much it, in a nutshell. This is why I'm working on the time, because manpower is going to become an issue, and we want to make sure that if we try to run full blast and have the people or the positions available, that we're not overwhelming. Because once things start flying and you got AI trains running all over the place, and I I have to stress this. I thought ahead a few years ago with the trains to make sure that they were scheduled properly, so that you had realistic train lengths. I think we're one of the few out there, if any, that actually do this properly, with a matrix, and making sure that we're not overloading trains, we're not deleting trains out of nowhere, and we're not spawning trains out of nowhere. So we've kept that going. As far as videos, I'd love to do more. I'm going to get this one up, but take a look at my video folder. These are huge freaking files. I just can't upload these. I can't even zip them and send them to somebody. So that alone, I wish I had. I've taken some great video lately, so I wish I have the time to do it. So for those wondering why things may be getting complicated, it's because I'm planning ahead. And that's the bottom line. I have to make sure things are working like a well-oiled machine. It's not to criticize people, it's not to give people a hard time, and it's not to make people's life miserable. It's about the system and making sure that it is operating in peak efficiency, and that it can be prepared for anything that comes this fall. And that's all I'll talk to you about for now. Hopefully I'll get some more videos up when I have some free time, or an editor or whatever decides to come by and do them. Anyways, we'll talk to you later.